Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 7 of the Cheers to Comics podcast, where two of your friends tip back a cold one each week as we discuss our favorite characters, creators, news, and everything else underneath our illustrated sun. If you like that, grab a beverage, kick back, and join me, one of your hosts, Justin Jones, and the man who will never be mistaken for a bird or a plane. It's Brian Wayne.
Yo.
Brian, how are you?
Good, man. Good. Lots to talk about this week.
Yeah, a lot of good comics this week.
I'm excited, man. We've got number ones, we've got ongoings, we've got events, we got a little bit of everything.
Yeah. So why don't you go ahead and tell us what we're having to drink this week?
This week, what did you call it, a snowman?
I believe you called it a snowball. I've always heard it called an Eskimo.
Eskimo, that's what it's called. So it's hot chocolate and peppermint schnapps. So.
Yep. It's been cold out, and it's a good winter drink.
Yeah, man. It's delicious.
Yeah.
It's working.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
For sure, man. For sure.
So, a little bit of Twitter news this week. You want to listen to that?
Twitter news. So yeah, these guys, they put out this whole theory about Charles Soule's hot claws, which Wolverine now possesses. And if you've been following the return of Wolverine, he's now got claws that heat up. And there's been no origin or anything like that. So these guys, they put out this whole very well thought out theory, and then Charles Soule retweeted it, and he just said nope. And I was like, oh shit, okay. So I was like, that's wrong. And their whole theory was it had to do with the Phoenix Force and all that, because lately we've seen Logan with the Phoenix Force and all that, relating to a lot of Jason Aaron's writings and all that. So that would be cool.
That's to be honest, where I jumped to assumptions.
Shot down. So I went out and I retweeted that through our Cheers to Comics handle, and he retweeted back, and he was like, so listen, there is no theory. Hot claws just are.
Yeah, cool.
So, and that's what it is, man. Hot claws just are. He went to Marvel and he was like, listen here, fuckers. I'm gonna bring back Wolverine, and he's got fucking some hot claws now. And Marvel was like, fucking, why not? And then they were like, why? And he was like, because. Fucking, why not?
I'm sure that's exactly how that pitch meeting went.
Oh, I was there. I was.
Oh, sure, okay, yeah. Factual.
Yeah. But, no. So, yeah, just hot claws are. And we'll probably get to see him again here this week when Return of Wolverine number 3 comes out. So, yeah, no, Charles Soule just shooting it down. Yeah. So, I liked that he was...
I like that level of storytelling. You don't want to explain everything to me. Just have something cool.
Not everything needs a fucking backstory, man.
That's why I love the original Star Wars. I mean, they didn't explain all this stuff until way later. But, it was just, hey, this is the universe and it's cool.
Yeah, for sure, man. Gotta love it. We also, in the world of news, we're seeing more DC titles get the axe. And when I say DC titles, it's this new Age of Heroes thing they've been doing.
Right.
They relaunched, or not relaunched, but launched a few different titles like the Immortals, which got the axe, and a couple others, and now they're announcing that Curse of Brimstone and Sideways are also getting the axe by February, I believe. So that leaves it down to Silencer, Damage, and the Terrifics out of all of the New Age heroes that have...
Yeah, so why do you think that is? Are they just not compelling stories?
I just think it's it's the lack of sales. But as far as the Sideways story getting axed, the way I read, it made it sound like Sideways is definitely still going to be a very relevant character. It's just the series is over for now.
Yeah.
Or whatever, but
we'll live on in other formats.
Yeah, I just think it was, they launched all these things, and they're like, well, whatever ones make money, we'll keep going with. You don't have to... I mean, I don't know. I started reading the Immortals a little bit, but I don't know. It was canceled the week after I put it on my pull list, so...
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, it is what it is. But, I don't know. So, yeah, DC titles getting the axe. Also news through DC is this Batman and the Outsiders title that was supposed to be happening in December is no longer happening in December. Everybody that pre-ordered it has been refunded but the creators did go out to say that the story is definitely happening. It's just there was some creative issues that pushed the things back, so they don't feel comfortable taking people's money without actually having a release date at this point. So they just refunded everybody's money for now, but Batman and the Outsiders will happen, and I'm excited for it. It's this cool little team up. It's got Batman, the Signal, and Black Mask, and a couple others. So
the Signal. Who's the Signal?
I'm not totally sure, but
Is it? But he's like one of the new Bat people.
Kinda, yeah. He's got a cool yellow outfit. Kinda like I don't know.
Please tell me that we're gonna get a signal.
I don't know, man. We might. We'll have to talk to the commissioner about that.
Call the signal. Cue the signal. That'd be great.
Signal the signal.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. But yeah, no. So that's what's going on there. So do not fret because I was super on board with this title. I had it on my pull list as soon as I knowed about it, but read earlier today that, yeah, it is getting pushed back, but it's definitely happening.
So it's going to happen, though.
For sure.
Ah, cool. Well, sounds interesting. I'm looking forward to checking it out.
Yeah, man. For sure. So, let's talk about what we read this week, huh?
You want to hop right into it?
Let's just hop right in. There was a lot of good stuff to talk about, that's for damn sure.
Let's start with my book of the week.
Oh, spoiler! Okay, cool. Your book of the week was Middlewest by Scotty Young, Jorge Corona, Jean-Francois Bello, and Nate Picos.
Yeah. So Jorge Corona is apparently a local out here. He just had a book signing at one of our shops. Unfortunately, I don't think either of us got down to go see him.
Nah, I forgot. But it was at one of the Mile High sister stores. So
yeah, I had to work.
Yeah, I forgot.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Maybe next time.
Yeah.
So, but what would you think of the book?
Dude, shout out to Scotty Young for his writing abilities. We've mostly known him for being an artist for so long. He adapted this really cool style, and then he's been dabbling. He did I Hate Fairyland and Bully Wars and a couple other ones, and he's doing Deadpool and all that. And this Middlewest, man, I tell you what, it's an Image #1, and I am fully on board. It starts out with this this giant tornado monster, as you tornado monster.
Right.
And I don't know, how would you describe what's going on here, man?
A nightmare. No, he just has an inner monologue how he just hates where he currently lives. It's just too windy, and there's this giant tornado abomination. Sends him flying away, which is a fear of his that he mentions. Next thing you know, he wakes up, and his dad, who is kind of a dick.
He's a prick, dude. He's not kind of a dick, dude. He's a prick.
Wakes him up, is real mad at him, tells him to get his shit in gear, can't be late to your paper. So the kid, who has a friend talking fox, starts his deliveries. Wind blows a bunch of his papers around. His friends invite him out to play video games. He kind of just shrugs off his duties with the paper. He doesn't go back home like his dad demanded that he do, and they go to the shop to pick up some snacks. Well, since they don't have money to buy these snacks, they stuff them all into his bag, and
yeah, he gets goaded in.
Yeah, they
it
get caught.
It sucks, like, cause he knows what happens if he doesn't go home. Like, he knows his dad's a dick. He knows what happens if he doesn't finish it. It's bad enough that he was late.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's not gonna finish it, cause and these kids show up and they're like, oh yeah, fuck your dad. And he's like, you know what? Yeah, fuck my dad.
I think it's a pretty relatable story. It's not like the kid is really intentionally out there committing crimes, but he's a young adult who's not happy with his lot in life and is rebelling. It's pretty relatable, and I can especially relate to this because my dad was kind of the stern type, and when I lived out in the middle of Oklahoma in a small little cow town, it's kind of what it was like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, shit.
But man, for one, I love the art in this. The colors are phenomenal. I love the character design. I don't think the art is for everybody, but if you can appreciate this kind of art, I think it sells the story pretty well.
Oh, I'm a huge fan, man.
Yeah.
Huge fan of the style. Huge fan of the style. It's thin, wispy ink work with very subtle colors. The color palette's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's spot on. But so yeah, no, these kids. The kid gets caught shoplifting,
Yep.
and the owner's like, "Well, I tell you what, I'll just call your dad instead." I
Yeah.
mean, so that sucks.
Kid, all his friends, get picked up. I'm sure they're in trouble, but
He's just left waiting there for a long ass time.
well into dusk.
Yep. And dad rolls up, get the fuck in.
Mm-hmm.
He gets in and he goes home and he's like, "No, you're sleeping outside, dude." And the kid like kind of nuts up, and he was like, for lack of better words, he's like, "Man, you're kind of an asshole, man. Like, you're a dick." And then
kind of getting too big a cojones, telling his dad, who's much bigger than him, and
hashtag triggered.
Yeah.
If his dad were tweeting right then, hashtag triggered, because he turns into a giant tornado monster.
Yeah. So, what do you take of this? Is his dad just some kind of demon that suddenly awakens and he has to run, or do you think this is all metaphorical? What's your theory on this?
I don't know, man. I really don't. Like, I like to think that this is all happening in real time right now, and his dad turns into this giant fucking tornado monster, this rage monster. And I don't know if he's seeing his dad as this, or this is what's actually happening. He's physically turning into this. But you notice that it looks like everything like there's something specifically drawn in the environments. It looks like everything's hooked up to like an IV of like this pink chemical.
Right.
Like everyone's like being hooked up to a drug or something. So for all I know, this guy is like hallucinating or something, and this might be a side effect of this drug. Like they see extreme emotion in a harshly physical way. I don't know. That's what I get out of this. I'm just like fucking spitballing here, obviously, but
could be. It also kind of looks like maybe it's some kind of energy source in this world, because the train has it, the car has it, the gas station has it, the power lines have it.
well, maybe that's just the stipulation that like everybody's got to be on this drug. I don't know.
Maybe his father goes too far, and this is just some kind of coma-induced journey of his.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, he has a talking fox. Maybe it's just a magical world. I don't know.
And the fox doesn't seem to give like two shits about what's going down. He's just like, "Let's go, kid."
Yeah.
He seems like very cool and laid back about all of this, because he's right there watching his daddy tornado rage monster thingy just go off about in the distance, and he and the fox just like take off, and they like hop on this train, and that's it. It just shows him like on this train car with the fox and
glowing symbol on his chest.
Yeah.
You even ask the fox what's going on, and the fox just says, "I can't answer that, kid."
Yeah.
I mean, there's something. There's a lot of potential here, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where Scotty Young can take this.
This book is just raw emotion, man, and it's a cool side of Scotty Young. Like he's turning out to be a very diverse writer. Like I didn't see that usually Scotty's just like full of quips and humor and all of that shit in his books, and this was just raw human emotion.
I found it very relatable, for sure.
Yeah, I dig it. It was highly rated, highly rated for me. Next up from Oni Press, we're gonna talk briefly about this one, and just because it something I was very excited about last week. It was the Rick and Morty presents Pickle Rick.
Yeah. Okay. Well, first off, who writes this? Who is this by?
This is by Delilah Dawson, C.J. Cannon, and Brittany Peer. No relation to the Spear.
Wow, that was quite the journey. Yeah, thank you for taking me there.
You are welcome. So yeah, and this is a Pickle Rick origin story told with a twist. Oh, you read this?
I did, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so, I mean, I liked it. I mean, the art was true to the source, sure.
Never says Pickle Rick.
I mean, it took most of the book to nearly do a frame-to-frame representation of the cartoon, sort of.
With a couple of subplots going on just to draw it out. Like, but just think if the episode were like 3.5 minutes longer.
Yeah, but that's the one thing I didn't appreciate. It was like, okay, well, this is all stuff I've already had. There's a lot of rehash in here just to kind of set up for something new. I mean, maybe the next one's going to knock my socks off. I just don't believe that this was delivered nearly as enchanting as the cartoon.
No, because, well, for one, that episode was just fucking brilliant.
Oh, well,
but,
of course.
the animation, the writing, everything, it was just like, that's how you write something right there. The thing I like the most about this were all of the little commercials. Spiders in my mouth, what's her whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking, thunderous squirt. Like, these little side commercials they do in here just, like, randomly.
Very Rick and Morty.
Yes.
Very, very Rick and Morty.
Yes. Yeah. I love the spider in my mouth weight loss program. That's so great. Oh, man. I laughed just as much as I am now, right now, just re-looking at it. So no, this is not a waste of money by any means. You're getting a Pickle Rick story with a little bit of twist. He never calls himself Pickle Rick. In the very beginning, he like sets it up to make it seem like at the very end he's gonna be like, oh, I know what I am now. I'm Pickle Rick, because he doesn't really decide on a name. And it turns out he's cool with Rick the Pickle, as of at least this issue. So I don't know. Like I definitely didn't hate it.
I'm definitely more looking forward to the next one when it's all a fresh story.
Yeah, for sure. Moving along to DC, we have Nightwing 53, Night Terrors Part 4, by Scott Lobdell, Fabian Nicieza, Travis Moore, Pat Zurcher, Tamara Bonvillain, covered by Chris Mooneyham and Nick Filardi. This one right here, I see what you're getting at there. Yeah, I totally missed a couple of independents. We'll get back to them, though, don't worry.
Well, I was going to do just the Dark Horse.
Gotcha. But, yeah, no, Nightwing, man. Fucking Nightwing. You didn't read Nightwing.
I did not read Nightwing. I'm just not too keen on the stories of Rick.
It's not a story to hate, but it's a... I still think this story's ramping up. This one did, take a couple of notches up for sure in the storytelling. So in the last one, it left off with Detective Sapienza and Rick. Rick is on his way to help his cabbie buddy, and Sapienza, dressed as Nightwing now, goes to stop him, and he's like, I got this shit. This is a mob type of thing. I want to stop these mob guys. Not obviously realizing that Rick was the original Nightwing.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, halt, citizen, I got your buddy. And he handcuffs Rick. And he goes off and he climbs up on the roof to go stop him. Or he's like peeping in on what's going on, and his cabbie buddy is in there. Then it flashes back to Rick thinking about everything, and next thing you know, he's like out of the handcuffs, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I supposedly was an escape artist." So he just like instinctually works his way out of the handcuffs, and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna go stop this shit." So in the same moment that Rick falls, or Detective Sapienza falls through the glass accidentally, right in the middle of this whole whatever torturing that's getting ready to go down, Rick just so happens to pop in and manage to help save things and all of that, and get the cabbie buddy out of there and all that bullshit. And then they go separate ways, and so you kind of get an encounter there, but then you kind of see that during that whole kerfuffle, Rick or Sapienza's actually whooping ass. Like, he's holding his own. Now, granted, he's also got, like, guns and shit, too. But even in hand-to-hand, like, he's doing okay. I mean, not my Nightwing. But, so, then it kind of, like, flashes back to Rick back at this bar. And apparently this bartender's sweet on him. And I like that he, like, looks down in his coffee and, like, sees a flash of himself as Nightwing. So it's still coming back to him. Like, I feel like every time he gets violent and does some shit, like, it seeps in more like, fuck me, I am. And so yeah, he's like sweet on this girl, and they're kind of having this whole thing.
Is that his bartender buddy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then it flashes over to one of the detectives that Sapienza was trying to hand over another suit to in one of the last episodes, because multiple Nightwing costumes were found.
Right.
And he was trying to create this team, and all the other cops and everything were like,
New Wing Force.
yeah, nah, we're good. So it flashes to one of the cops, and then he gets a knock on his door, and it's Sapienza. He fucked up. And Sapienza instantly is like, well, if y'all motherfuckers would have been there with me, I wouldn't be looking like this. So he's like, instantly throws shade. So he's not much of a team player, wants help. So I don't like this guy.
No.
I don't know. Like,
You don't think he's going to last the mantle?
No, I have a feeling he's going to end up becoming a villain. Because,
oh, okay.
Well, everyone, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain or some shit like that. I don't think this guy has the mental capacity. Because there aren't very many heroes out there, and nothing against cops, but I can't think of very many backstories out there where the heroes are cops. And are stable. Most of the police and comics are fucking out there. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But I'm probably wrong. But I don't know. I think this guy's going to end up being a villain. Because he's already...
Right on.
He doesn't play nice with others. He's not very instinctual. That's for sure. He's definitely... I don't like his instincts at all. And then,
I mean, he's brand new to the superhero scene.
Yeah.
I'm sure anybody would fumble their first few missions.
Right. And then this very last scene, you get one of the watering hole, like the bar that you see Rick at a lot. You notice this guy in the background. Kind of looks like Kingpin, just friendlier. But he goes to this substance abuse meeting, and they're laying it all out on the table, and then you get this guy from Gotham comes into town, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm from Gotham, and blah blah blah. And then it turns out that he starts talking about fear and all this shit, and I'm like, oh shit.
Oh, here we go.
You got the Scarecrow, and goes after Rick's buddy.
This is the part of the Nightwing story that I was interested in.
I think this is where it's going to start, like, really ramping up, because we got a Gotham bad guy in Bloodhaven. I think the Scarecrow's fear gas might be the ultimate trigger. Oh, it dawned on me. Might be the ultimate trigger for Rick to be like,
bring all the pieces back together.
my name's Dick, and I came to kick ass. And, yeah. I don't know. I think Scarecrow is going to be a godsend to this story, though.
I'm looking forward to DC fixing their dick.
Yeah.
For sure.
Handle the dick.
Yeah.
Handle the dick. Yeah, man, let's go back to fucking the Dark Horse title.
It was just one that I've been reading a little bit. I don't need to go too far into depth, but it's just something interesting I think you would like. It's called The Whispering Dark. This is issue number 2.
Yeah, I flipped through it. It definitely looked interesting. There was some certain panels for sure I was flipping through. I was like, oh, fuck! So...
Yeah, so we got Christopher Emgar on the writing and Thomas Era on the art. And I really like the art style. It's pseudo-realistic, just normal everyday people. It's really good shading, really good use of colors. It's a kind of a darker story of this devout Christian woman who becomes a helicopter pilot. Well, on one mission, she goes down behind enemy lines. They were ambushed. She is the highest ranking member of the force that survives, and they're behind enemy lines with no means of communication, and they're in Soviet Russia, and they're just trying to get on their way home. But
Soviet Russia.
They're in the middle of the dark, they're alone, they're surviving mostly off of what they call go pills, which is...
Go pills? Adderall, you mean?
Pretty much.
Ah, yeah.
Maybe something a little bit stronger, because several of them are really standing on edge, and it's really hinting at this more gothic horror style of story, very Lovecraftian. Hinting at the looming darkness and external forces that are pushing against that, and it's a very interesting read.
I like the demonic looking characters and the little bit of flashes you get in those panels.
Yeah, they're hinting at it for sure. And one of the characters who's got this severe fever keeps saying, "We're not going to live. She's watching us. She's watching us. She's here." And it's exploring a really dark side of human nature and of war, and it's quite a compelling read.
Well, yeah, man. That sounds nice. That sounds pretty fucking awesome. I have been on the hunt for more and more indies lately because I haven't really found a whole lot of misses, to be honest.
Man, there's so many good art authors and art out there. I mean, telling all these untold stories.
Michelle.
I really love the covers on this Whispering Dark on both of them. They're really simple, but they're very like reminiscent of 80s and 90s horror movie posters.
Yeah, and it definitely reminds me like very Evil Dead-y.
Yeah, very similar.
Yeah, for sure. Oh shit.
Let's continue back to DC.
DC, series has taken a U-turn again. We got Justice League Dark number 5, James Tynion the Fourth, Daniel Sampier, Juan Albarran, and Adrian Lucas. Covered by Nicholas Scott and Romulo Fajardo Jr. So I know we kind of like both weren't super stoked lately on this title because of they took this new team that hasn't really been established yet, and they instantly threw it in this mini event that was just spread out through way too many
the whole
titles.
witching hour thing just kind of lost it for me.
It was a pooper of a story. But fucking, we're back, man.
Yeah, you were saying this one is right back to where we were.
Yeah, dig it. Bobo the Chimp. Discover. I mean, you see Bobo swinging a sword at fucking a dragon. That's exactly what's happening in this fucking book, dude.
Great.
Like, this isn't like, oh yeah, maybe one day Bobo would swing a sword at a dragon. No, Bobo swings a sword at a dragon. So we got Bobo sitting at a bar, or no, he's not sitting at a bar yet. He's mourning the loss of a friend. The owner of the bar. He's at the funeral, and then he cuts to him drinking at the bar, and he's ignoring everybody. He's not happy, and the way this scene is written, it's fucking beautiful. Like, it's poetic.
Oh yeah.
And then he drinks. Oh, I love it. It's
good writing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if Bobo were ever to be because of just the way this has been written here in these first few pages, I think if Bobo the Chimp, their detective chimp, ever fucking were cast in a live action movie, I see what's his name, not Jamie Lannister, but the dwarf guy from Game of Thrones, fucking that little guy. I hear his voice now. Like, it's just, it's good. But anyway, so yeah, he's sitting there and he's drinking, and this guy comes up to him, and he's pretty much like, you own the bar now. And it's the Phantom Stranger, actually. The Phantom Stranger walks up to him and he hands him this sword, and Bobo knows exactly what this sword is. I'm not totally sure what it is at this point in time, but he gets handed this sword, and he was like, "This was so and so's. He wanted you to have it. He knew you know what to do with it, and this is now your bar."
So they're finally explaining where he got this magic sword.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes. So yeah, the Phantom Stranger gives it to him. And then all of a sudden you get Wonder Woman, Man Bat, and Zatanna walk into the bar. They go to cheer him up, and they're like, I'm not just here to cheer you up. We kind of need that sword, Bobo. We need you to open up this dimension for us. Some shit's going down. And he's like, no, I'm not giving it to you. And so they're just kind of like, well, we need it, so thanks. And they take it.
You're coming with us.
And they're like, we'd really like it if you came. And he was like, no, I'm drinking. And he calls for another drink and all this other shit. So, long story, or fast forward, they open up the portal and they go without him, and then he realizes, like, I should probably go. So, he does end up following behind, but...
Fast forward.
Yeah. But just, the way this goes on, it's awesome. Then it flashes over to, Swamp Thing and Constantine. They're over at the, what do they call it? The Tree of Wonder. and Dr. Fate shows up.
Mm.
And, dude, we get a fight between Swamp Thing, Constantine, and Dr. Fate. And this is a fucking sweet-ass scene. Like, Swamp Thing gets all big, and Constantine's like, get him, and Swamp Thing's like, alright, and he fucking smashes him, and...
No.
I mean, not Dr. Fate's still pretty badass, so obviously that's not enough. And then it goes back to, you know, like the whole Detective Chimp and that whole team thing. Like, there's a lot going on.
Where does the dragon come in?
So yes, eventually while they're in this portal, or the Myra is where the world they're in. It's called Myra.
Okay.
These dragons come in, and that's when Bubba's like, so yeah, or not this dragon, a dragon, and what's his name? Fucking Nightmaster, I think, something like that. Boom, there it is.
Oh, that's a dope scene. That's a really cool 2-pager.
It totally is. Bobo's like, so about this, like, I did some shit in the past, like, that's why everything's fucked up here, that's why I feel guilty and have to come back, because y'all didn't see any of this coming.
Mm-hmm.
So, I got this. So that's what you get going on there. Then it goes back to the fight with Constantine and Dr. Fate and whooping ass and all that, and, like, you get this whole montage of back and forth, just constant action.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the majority of this, really. And then throughout that, you know, Bobo's explaining all this other shit. And then at the end you realize, no, it's not Nightmaster, it's the Blue Devil. That's who is on the dragon.
Oh, he's a wicked-looking motherfucker.
And you realize that there's, like, earlier back in the book at the funeral, he had a very, very subtle appearance, and, like, tosses a devious look, and...
Ah, okay. Foreshadowing.
So, yeah, there was some foreshadowing with him having some shit going on to begin with. But this is action-packed, very well written. Like I said, I can't use the word poetic enough. James Tynion IV, like, don't... if DC says again, hey, I got this little mini event, I want you to throw your team in, you say no. Because let's get, like, 12 or 13 issues of us establishing this team.
Yeah, man, this is definitely a cool collection of characters. All these different magical users from across DC.
Swamp Thing and Constantine teaming up? That's awesome. I love Detective Chimp. Zatanna, that's...
It's a pretty good team.
Seriously.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to hear that that's back on track, and I'll be looking forward to jumping back into that one for sure.
Oh, show. Alright, moving along. DC, we have Batman number 59, Tom King, Mikel Janine, and Jordi Belair. Oh, man. So we're continuing off with the whole Penguin thing.
Yeah, another interesting read this week.
And I like how this gets written. So it starts out with, it says that, oh man. So it's got Batman hunched over the Penguin, and he's, man, he just doesn't understand why Penguin is giving him this information. Like, I don't believe you.
You wouldn't believe him, would you?
Right, exactly. Like, why would he be giving him all of this information?
Right.
And as it turns out, it's beautiful. Like, we get the reveal of who Penny Cobblepot is. I was right, it was his wife.
Yeah, his love of his life.
And he knows that by revealing this information that he's dead. The person that he's ratting out is dead. And this is his way of saying, like, I want to be with my beloved Penny. Like, this is my proof.
I think he wants justice on the one that hurt her.
Right.
And that his life be damned. Batman is the one to act out that justice.
Absolutely. And so he explains that the person behind all of this is Bane. And Batman's like, no. He's in solitary in Arkham. Like, he's drugged up. He's not doing anything. He's cowering in a corner. And Penguin's like, no, there's much more to it than
I don't
this.
have much reason to offer you.
So
why you should believe me.
Batman unhinged again. He plows his way through Arkham. Like, he gets to the cell of Bane, and there's like, I don't know,
Asylum.
about 10 security guards standing there with guns pointed down at him, and Batman's like, look, I'm going through you.
Right, he
And
fucks one of them up right
he
quick.
does. And he was like, so, look. And I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. You're Batman. Go on through.
You can let me walk through, or you can deal with me.
Yep, exactly.
And I think they made the wise decision.
Oh, and so does Batman. He even says, good choice.
Yeah.
They clear a path, and like the way this is written, the way it goes back and forth between explaining like the whole Penguin arc to this story, and then it goes into Batman pretty much just like brutally interrogating Bane in his cell. Like,
yeah.
beats the fuck out of him to the point where he actually needs intensive surgery. So while Batman has him,
Emmy of the Year goes to.
yeah, and like he's like, mommy, I don't understand.
Please don't hurt me. Don't hit me again.
No. He's got the stutter and everything, and fucking then Commissioner Gordon walks in. And he's like, dude, Batman, like
We've
look
been
at
watching him.
Yeah, like I've been personally overseeing his fucking stay here. And then unhinged Batman turns around and he fucking decks Gordon, and Gordon's like, get the fuck out. Get out. And, like, it's...
You get this one, Batman.
a super tense moment, too.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's
for
super
sure.
tense. And then
Definitely starting to show how Batman's kind of starting to fissure on all of his alliances and all of his cohorts, and he's really unhinging.
Oh,
He's coming undone, and it's...
Dude.
It's a roller coaster.
Like, he's got Cobblepot by the fucking collar. He's beating the shit out of Bane with Commissioner Gordon saying don't. So then it goes to like Bane on the operating table, and all the room clears and Bane smiles.
Oh yeah.
Cobblepot was right the whole time. Like
Oh
Bane's
yeah,
running
definitely.
shit.
And now Bane's gonna be in a probably much less guarded hospital somewhere.
Yep.
It's a perfect opportunity to get out.
Yep.
You know, he's got a cover story. Batman's reputation is now injured. But man, my favorite page on this one is when he's just beating the crap out of Bane. And he said, and I'm sure you worked with the Beast. You hurt my boy.
That's yes,
yeah.
And that's what really I forgot. I'm glad you mentioned that. I forgot to mention that. That's what really unhinges him too.
Yeah, it was a powerful panel.
He's the one that fucking, and it was like this whole vicious circle too, like methodically plotted out by Bane. And goddamn, kudos Tom King, dude. Anybody that says Tom King needs to get off Batman can get a dick, because this is great emotional Batman.
I totally agree.
Without it being cheesy. I keep saying unhinged Batman. I love unhinged Batman.
This is a very interesting Batman story.
I'm
sold.
And no, this time, you know what you didn't get this time? All the people that bitched and said, oh, when he's beating the shit out of KG Beast, it was just a whole book of grr. Well, you know what? You actually got Batman interrogating this time, while he's beating the shit out of Bane. Like, you're getting lines, you're not getting onomatopoeias.
Yeah, you're not gonna please everybody all the time. Not everybody's storytelling is gonna be for everybody, but this has hooked me.
But it goes to show that Tom King's not incapable of writing dialogue in a scene. The fact, when you compare this scene to the KGB scene, Unhinged Batman, Batman doesn't care about answers. He's not trying to get answers. Like, even at the end, when KG Beast is like, please don't leave me here, I'll give you who it is. And Batman's like, I'm the world's greatest detective, I don't give a fuck, I'll find out. But at this point, Batman is trying to get answers out of Bane because he is in disbelief of what the information Penguin gave him. But he gave him enough proof for him to at least go try to get the information out of Bane. And then, yeah. So, that's the difference. And yes, Tom King can write dialogue in a fight scene, because this is action-packed, it was gritty, it was emotional, it was amazing. This is amazing. And Mikel Janin and Jordi Belair, I love those two as a duo art team. I always have throughout Batman. They've been doing their thing since fucking issue 1. Actually, not issue 1 itself, but like from the beginning of the Rebirth series, like so very, very, very early into it. But yes, these guys, such a great team, and this book is A+.
Yeah, I'm actually interested enough in this story that I'm gonna go out, and I think I'm gonna pick up the trades leading up to where I've picked up.
Good.
Man, it's a lot to catch up on, but I like this Batman story.
It's worth it.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. Let's move into Marvel, huh?
Hey, a series I am caught up on.
Yeah. Or Uncanny X-Men number 2, or Legacy numbering 621, if you're keeping track. We have...
I'm not.
Issue 2 of this. The first 10 issues are weekly, and then it'll level out.
Okay.
I had that confirmed today by Ed Brisson. I tweeted him, and he confirmed that, yes.
I was wondering how they're going to keep pumping these out every single week.
Yeah, no, it's just for the first 10 issues because it's a super exciting event, and they want the information to linger because this is a very... There's a lot going on in this story.
Yeah, I saw that on the Twitter.
It's all worth reading. But this team, Ed Brisson, Kelly Thompson, Matthew Rosenberg, all writing. Adriano De Benedetto and Rachel Rosenberg doing the art. This is fucking awesome. And this cover with all the multiple men on it's dope. That's Lionel Francis Yu and Edgar Delgado.
Yeah,
on the
what do
cover.
you think of all these multiple men with all these different X-Men powers?
Jamie is a massive, massive part of this story, and Matthew Rosenberg did his 5-part miniseries reintroducing, bringing them back. I heard Matthew Rosenberg teasing on Twitter too. He's like, I think, because honestly, when I first pitched this story with Marvel, I think it'd be funny if I just like killed him off immediately. And Uncanny, and Marvel was like, no, that's not funny.
That's kind of funny.
But we wouldn't really have this awesome story that we have going on.
No,
right now.
I'm really interested in what's going on. I feel like I kind of need to go back. Why does Multiple Man have all these powers? That's definitely something I need to go back and find out about.
Well, I think that's all going to get explained in the story.
Great.
So, it starts out with the team. They're in Beast Lab, and they're noticing that there's like all these prehistoric
disasters.
creatures and shit happening,
Yeah.
and like Cap has a team dispersed, and like the Avengers are out. Fucking the Champions are out, like all the teams are out doing that. So now this Uncanny team's like, all right, let's go do this thing. But meanwhile, they're like, but like Kitty Pryde and all that shit's still missing. Like we gotta find our friends.
Right.
So Jean's like, I tell you what, I'm gonna go to Cerebro. I'm gonna find them. You guys go out and fight dinosaurs and shit. And they're like, fuck yeah, that's dope. But before they can really get to that, like she puts on Cerebro and then. Who comes rushing in? Fucking Iceman. Like, totally breaks up the party. And then Jean's like, oh, no, that's not what's going on. And she goes, I'm going to go take care of these dinosaurs. Y'all go out and take care of, I don't know, what's happening here? This other big disaster. They go to...
They're going to stop
they're going to fight
in Kansas, all the growth.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they're fucking Jamie. They're going to take care of that whole thing. Because there's like this... massive herd of them, and they've all got very different powers, like resembling other mutants and shit in the past. One looks like Psylocke, we got a little Wolverine thingy happening.
Yes, he seems to be off, though. There seems to be something going on.
Yeah, no, he's definitely being controlled by something.
Keep saying they're gone. He's got these powers. Jean can't get in their head, neither can Psylocke.
Right.
Something's going on.
Right. And, yeah, so then, in this whole battle royale, I remember, what was in the last issue, Beast calling for Banshee, remember that? He has Banshee as like a backup or whatever, like towards the end of the issue, I believe. Was that fucking Uncanny number 1? I remember it was in another story, and...
there was so much going on that last issue. I don't remember.
Yeah,
I'll have to go back and look.
Yeah, that was like 65 pages of just so much stuff. So yeah, forgive me for not getting that straight right now, but yeah. Anyways, so yeah, Banshee shows up and like he goes out on the fritz because he was being controlled by something. So the chip that Beast put in Banshee to be able to retract Beast if need be ends up turning on him. So you get that whole thing happening, and then we get a back and forth to all of the X-Men fighting the multiple men mass again.
Yeah.
And I mean, the art in this is fucking awesome. It's colorful. The dialogue's fun. Like Jubilee, I like who's writing Jubilee. I'm gonna say that that's Kelly Thompson writing Jubilee. This whole 2-page spread here totally looks like Kelly Thompson.
Yeah. Well, what makes you say that?
Her voice, like after reading West Coast Avengers, I became a big fan of Kelly Thompson. I'm like, I like the way she definitely has a style to her. She's a lot of fun, and yeah, just the way that thing went. She's like, get your fucking tongue off of me. That's totally like a Kelly Thompson.
Yeah.
Thing. Yeah.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, but So yeah, no. Then we get this whole Jean Grey and her little team fighting dinosaurs, and it just looks like so much fun. But and then Laura just goes like ape shit, like she does. She like goes into the Tyrannosaurus and comes out,
just cutting right out of him. Rah!
And Jean Grey's like, so that's totally like y'all ain't topping that for MVP move of the day. Like I like how she throws that out there.
I just love how Iceman's like, well, shouldn't she be deducted points for getting eaten in the first place? You try telling her that. Pass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I totally think that whole like 6 pages there was all Kelly Thompson. That was just a lot of fun. I love those. And nothing against Rosenberg and Brisson's fucking. It's just that
like
dialogue.
It's a fun little writing style. I'll have to look her up.
Yeah. West Coast Avengers. We'll talk about her later.
Okay.
So then it goes over to like the trainee team, and they're pretty bummed out that they got left behind, and at the same time, like for good reason though, and they even acknowledge it. They're like, yeah, we did kind of fuck shit out last time. And then so wherever they get a knock on the hotel, or not hotel, on the mansion
Institute.
Yeah. And the last page is fucking Legion, dude.
Yeah, one man coming out of the angry mob, and I'm Legion, and I'm here to save the day.
Yeah. Fucking Xavier's brother.
Xavier's son, isn't it?
Son, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's. I'm gonna have. I'm really looking forward to seeing where they can take the Legion's a pretty cool character, and with him, and now we have Multiple Man.
Hasn't been relevant in the X-Men in a long time though. Like I'm super excited for Legion to be relevant, and it looks like he's gonna start out manipulating these.
You know, it's one thing I'm really liking about these X-Men Uncanny. They really feel like the 80s and 90s throwback.
So far, these first 2 issues are on point.
Yeah, they're fun.
And yeah, no, it's good things are happening. There's gonna be a lot of this. This is our X-Men story now, guys. Get used to it. Love it.
I'm glad it's only for 10 weeks because my wallet, but we have 10 weeks of good comics to look forward to.
Well, after 10 weeks,
then it'll be bi-monthly, right?
Well, bi-weekly or monthly.
Right.
But it's gonna level up. It's not gonna be weekly. That's just so much because Kelly Thompson's writing shit.
Right.
That's probably why there's 3 people in this book because they're all doing shit. Matthew Rosenberg is killing it with
shout out to the authors pumping that out there.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. But in the world of X-Men, we come to a conclusion in issue number 17 of Astonishing X-Men. Speaking of Matthew Rosenberg as the writer. Oh.
Never heard of him.
Yeah. I bet. Greg Land, Jay Leiston, and Frank Diamata. Cover by Greg Land, Jay Leiston, and Frank Diamata. And so, yes, this is the finale of Astonishing X-Men. An X title is getting cut, so we're down to Uncanny X-Men and X-Men Red at this point.
Alright, so I haven't read any of these. Give me your quick 2-minute elevator pitch up to this point.
Astonishing X-Men, it's the redheaded stepchild X-Men team. It's they're not really supposed to be X-Men at all. Fucking Havoc is leading them, and you know.
Wait, is this the one that you had me read a couple weeks ago with they're Prison Break or they're escaping from
some Dazzler shit happening.
Yeah, okay. I did read one.
So that was 16. Now we're at 17, and this is the conclusion, and that's a lot going on. It's a lot going on, and just a few pages. This isn't an oversized issue or anything like that, but I enjoyed it. Totally enjoyed it. So, where we left off we had that Pierce guy turning on the team and seeking these, what do you call them? Not sentinels. Is that what they're called? Sentinels? Sure. And yeah.
They look like sentinels, yeah.
Yeah. And so we get that whole thing, and then it looks like, Jarvis is itchy. Poor Jarvis. But then it turns out that, like, the team looks upon they're like looking upon their bodies. And, you know, obviously, the Sentinels didn't whoop their ass. Dazzler actually did something badass and projected, light figures, holograms of them all to make Pierce be like, oh shit, I guess we got him.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so that's kind of how they get out of that situation. But it really drains the shit out of Dazzler. But I thought that was pretty cool how she went on to do that. And then after that whole thing, Havoc breaks off, and he's like, you know what, this team, I think we're done. And Kitty Pryde ends up like calling all X-Men again, and then Havoc's back. No,
I'm done. Okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But apparently it's worth coming back for. So we get this whole thing. Even Colossus, you know, he's running through. There's really so much going on here. But really, what it comes down to, it's the ending, the breaking up of this team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I won't get into the guts of this story. I'll get into the conclusion. And you get Kitty Pryde in the mansion, and she's getting bombarded for this whole like Roxxon thing happening. And Havoc comes down and he like takes the fall. He's like, arrest me, you know, I did all this shit. And he ends up even like causing like a little bit of physical fucking commotion there, just to even like shake things up a little more to ensure that he goes to jail and takes one for the team. And it's like this whole heartfelt
Made his
thing.
intimidation check.
Yeah. Yeah. And even Kitty Pryde, she's like, yeah, no, that was cool and all, but I'm not. We don't need to worry about what Havoc's doing right now. Like, he's a cool guy, but he's by no means a leader, especially of an X-Men team.
Right.
Like, she was the one that was definitely the most against Havoc leading a team. Like, not a fan of the guy at all. So yeah, it's really just like the disassembling of this team. You even get like a little bit of an awkward moment between Kitty Pryde and Colossus because, you know, that wedding thing that never happened. And yeah, they just like completely, like, it's brought up for a second and they're just like, no. We're not. Yeah.
Truth be told, I don't really see Havoc being the best team leader either.
No, definitely not a leader, but I want to see more of him. He was a very interesting character. I like the way Rosenberg was writing
You like
him.
Cyclops' brother, huh?
Yeah, I like him more than Cyclops. I think he's...
I like old Cyclops. Old Scotty was fun.
Yeah, I'm not a Cyclops hater like most people are. I know a lot of people really hate Cyclops.
I just don't really know what he's up to. I've heard from a few friends, you know, what he's up to, and it sounds like he's become a real dick, but I don't know.
Yeah. So, bye-bye, Astonishing X-Men. Like I said, Uncanny is our book right now. I don't know where X-Men Red's going, but I don't know. We'll see. I know there's about to be a bunch of, I think there's going to be five-part miniseries within this 10-week, event, Uncanny event. Or after the 10 weeks or something like that. But some shit's gonna go down. And there's gonna be a lot of X-Men stuff happening. And I'm going over, I'm thinking, fuck, I don't know which ones I'm gonna get. This is a lot of reading, I have a feeling. So I don't know.
Well, I'm excited. I mean, it's been a fun story so far, and it seems like a good opportunity for me to jump into some X-Men. And I really like it because a lot of these characters are really familiar to me.
I don't want to be hit with too much information though. Like, give me an X-Men book and like, let's put this team together. My tiny little brain can't process like three brilliant writers all working together with this like incredible, well thought out, meticulous plot. Like, ease me in, guys. You know.
Sure.
Like,
not every compelling story has to be about the end of the world.
Yeah, no, I like nothing against what they're writing. It's just I worry for what I have a feeling is gonna get more complicated than, like I said, my tiny little brain can comprehend.
Yeah.
And I hate to be the guy that can't talk about X-Men because I'm too fucking stupid.
Well, this will be a good exercise in retention.
We'll see. We'll see. Or I'll just read each issue like
Every week.
15 times until it, I repetitively pound it in. We'll see.
Alright, well, tell you what. Let's get through this 10 weeks, and then let's have a special episode where we just talk about the 10 issues, and we can spitball off of each other everything that's happening.
Or we won't. I don't know. We'll see.
No, I'm going to say it right now. You heard it here, folks. It's going to happen.
Okay. In the world of Matthew Rosenberg, we have The Punisher, number 4, Legacy 232. Simon Krudensky and Antonio Fabella. Kudos to that team. Greg Smallwood did the cover. Loving that green cover. So World War Frank continues. This is part 4. And so where it left off was Frank was in custody with Nick Fury all up in that shit. And one of the security guards revealed himself to be Jigsaw. And that's how that issue ended. That was a sweet ending. You remember that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So then we get this confrontation with Jigsaw and Frank at this point now. And it kind of turns out to Jigsaw, turns around and is like, oh yeah, I'm not worried about Nick Fury either, because he turns out to be, what's his face? Chameleon. So it's not Nick Fury. It's Chameleon. So, blah. And Punisher, being a badass like he is, manages, and the whole, like, there's this whole commotion, and he ends up, like, creating this pile of bodies, and it's like this barricade, or like a foxhole, because he throws this grenade. So he has, like, this pile of bodies to shield himself, and it's badass, man. It's brutal. I love the way this is drawn. So yeah, no, you get this chase scene. Chameleon and Jigsaw get away, but not without Frank being shot. So he's slowed down. So that's how they're able to get away, because Frank at his best got these motherfuckers. But he does get shot. So yeah, and then did you read this?
I did not, no.
You didn't get this one this week?
I skipped out on this one this week.
Gotcha. Well, you missed out, buddy.
Yep, I'll have to catch up.
So then, Frank goes to invade, like, this orientation for Hydra.
Mm-hmm.
And that turns out to be, like, some bloodbathy type of shit, too.
Well, sure, Frank Castle in a Hydra meeting. That sounds like just aggression.
Faux show. And then, like, obviously, Zemo's is playing a big part of this, and
right.
I don't know. Frank ends up, like, revealing that who is it? This Winslow fellow. He's possessing the rings of the Mandarin, and we'll get into the rings of the Mandarin in the next issue. But that's an Iron Man thing.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if Iron Man's gonna get involved in this. Like, forgive me, that was like a very poor rundown of an amazing issue. But I just wanted to give you an idea of, like, how action packed and.
Yeah. So this World War Frank stuff has been interesting. Where do you think they're taking this?
I have no idea. I really don't. This is. Matthew Rosenberg is a brilliant writer, and he's all about grit and brutality and all that. I have no clue. I really can't say.
We're just getting straight Punisher. Like,
I think he wants the readers to know that, like, Frank Castle
one
is
badass
fucking
motherfucker.
here. He's here.
Yeah.
And, like, this is the Frank Castle voice you're getting. It is no holds barred.
But they're not really explaining his motives as much in this one. I mean, yeah, they're bad guys. He goes out and avenges stuff, but he punishes. But like, there's got to be some more to the story that we just haven't found yet.
Yeah, for sure. I think he's just kind of like reestablishing his rogues gallery, perhaps.
I mean, it's definitely Punisher fan service, for sure.
Absolutely. I don't know how many more issues the World War Frank thing is gonna go. Perhaps we could do a better rundown once it finishes. Like, we can go through, reread everything, and like maybe do a re-rundown episode of some story arcs.
That might be a fun thing that we might do as a second show coming soon.
Yeah, like talk about, the 10 issues of Uncanny and
we can just really dive into just one subject.
Yeah, maybe that's something we'll do. Alright, we're brainstorming on air. Shit. Alright, well anyways, we'll leave it in. Maybe. So yeah, no, definitely a wonderful story. Matthew Rosenberg, the whole team, thank you. But once again, we got another Rosenberg story, teaming up with Donny Cates and Nico Henriken, covered by Jeff Shaw and Rain Barreto. We've got Marvel Knights 20, number 2. So, the last issue, did you catch up on this one?
I did, yeah.
Sweet. The last issue, nobody knew shit.
Yeah, still, people know a little more than shit.
Yes, but there's a lot of information being pulled out here. So it starts out with Murdoch talking to fucking Karen. And then after that whole conversation, realize it's not really Karen.
Yeah, the hands go through her. She's a hallucination.
Yeah. So don't really know what's going on there.
Fragment of his subconscious.
Yeah. It definitely sets him back as much as the reader. That's for sure. But at the same time, it kind of like sets you back in the last issue too, where like he's at the grave and all of a sudden Karen's there.
Right. Like, wait, I thought you were dead. Okay, you're here. I don't know who you are. Oh, you're not really here.
Exactly.
A little roller coaster.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. So
but we get a little bit more about what's going on here. So another peek behind the curtain. We finally figure out how Frank Castle and Bruce Banner got into all this.
Right. So yeah, Banner shows up and he's got like all these tiny little notes that apparently kids have been leaving him.
In his sleep.
Yeah.
He goes to sleep, has dreams, and these kids bring him notes.
Right.
And I love how he just like says it so matter of fact that, oh, I'm sorry, we got up on the wrong foot. I have these dreams, these kids write me some notes, and I find them in my pocket.
Right. Meanwhile, like the cop that's interrogating him is Frankie Castle.
Right.
So.
And I just love when he pulls out that no. Where did you find that? The Punisher symbol.
Yeah, it's got the Punisher skull there, and that's when things between the two like gets a little more intense, and Punisher wants to know more. So they're like in this like motel, and fucking what's going on in the motel here?
Oh, Banner's having a dream. He's like punching his sleep and smash, and then he wakes up. Like, bad dreams?
Yeah, so I think what they're setting up in this page here is that, Frank is like, okay, we've got shit to take care of between you and I. Like, they're on the road now, and, Castle's, he's just watching him sleep. You don't want to, I wouldn't want to be sleeping in a room with Bruce Banner.
Definitely not.
No.
Definitely not. I don't know if I would want to be sleeping in a room with Frank Castle either.
I feel safer sleeping in a room with Frank Castle than Bruce Banner, because if Castle was gonna kill you, like he was gonna, you'd be.
I don't know. I jaywalked that one time, and man, I don't want to get punished.
Right. So then we get this this confrontation between Elektra and Castle, and.
She seems normal enough. She can't be in on all this.
Yeah, and she's whooping the shit out of Frank.
Right.
He doesn't want to fight back. Mm-hmm. I mean, he'll beat the shit out of her.
Okay, to be fair, she is holding her own. I mean,
she is, but she's
putting a good hurting on him.
Yeah, he's not swinging back though. But yeah, no, she fucks him up. That's for sure. There's no doubt about it. She fucks him up. To the point where he gets angry.
Pulls out his knife.
Yeah. So then the trying to remember, like it's. Yeah, there's a whole lot of
Calm down, Castle.
Right.
Calm down.
There's a whole lot of trying to remember going on in this story, for sure. And he wants to know the connection to Murdoch. And, yeah. And, shit, what else is going on here?
I believe she's like, well, I don't need to remember. I don't want to remember. Whatever gave me these scars, I don't feel like I didn't deserve them. And I don't want to go back to a world where people hurt me or I hurt other people. And before she really fucks him up with a knife, what stops it other than the baton from Daredevil?
That's right. Daredevil comes in and stops that shit. It's fucking cool, too. He's like, that's a superhero pose there. I love the way he's drawn there. He's fucking reminds me of how Frank Miller used to draw him, just big and beefy and yeah. But yeah, no, it's and then Daredevil shows up, and then who else shows up? It's fucking Karen, and then everyone like acknowledges her,
Right,
and he's
like,
like, wait
what about
a second.
her? Wait, you can see her?
Right, and that's where it leaves off. So they're standing in the street. You got Daredevil, Karen, Frankie Castle, and Elektra. All trying to remember stuff. Oh, and Bruce Banner locked up in the cop car.
And he's starting to Hulk out.
Yeah, he was starting to Hulk out when he saw Elektra coming at fucking Frank.
So
yeah.
Starting to wake up the big boy.
Yep, and then Daredevil stopped that shit because no one wants to see that Hulk happening right now.
Right.
So yeah, no, this is awesome. Another dual writer type of situation. Two of my favorite writers in the world ever. So
It's been an interesting story. I like it so far.
yeah, I like it. The art's awesome. I'm not sure how many. I think this is going to be 6 issues or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm not
slow
sure.
minute story.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, no, definitely going all the way on it. Love it. We got a one shot here. Web of Venom, Carnage Born, Donny Cates. Continuing with a Venom story, we also got Danilo Beruth and Chris Peter on the artistic team. This cover by Kyle Holtz and Jose Bellarrubia. Hey, I did that good. This cover is awesome. There's a bunch of variant covers that were sweet too. So this picks up where Venom 8 left off. So if you're not current on all of Venom, this may be kind of confusing for you, but the payoff in the end is still totally worth it. So it might be like I said, a little confusing, but in the end you get Carnage, baby. You do. So
a little bit.
Yeah, you're getting these cultists, these symbiote worshippers. Turns out they have the missing shred of dragon symbiote from Null that has been sought after by the Maker, and that is the key to bringing Flashback apparently. And like the symbiote means a lot. But the opening sequence is the birth of Cletus Cassidy, and he's instantly evil. Like he dies and goes to hell as an infant. So like he was
kind of giving his backstory a bit.
Born evil. Like
well, 9 minutes later.
9 minutes and 18 seconds, I think, is what it is. 38 seconds or something like that. Yeah, 19 minutes and 38 seconds. He went to hell, and that's.
Yeah?
That's, oh, dude. That's,
Then he was reborn and became the maniac we all know him to be.
That's for sure. So, yeah, these cultists, they introduce this dragon symbiote to, the corpse of Cletus. And naturally, this thing takes over, but it's not the carnage that you expect. It's actually the mind of Null fighting with the mind of Cletus, going back and forth. So, like, it's like the Venom, or the symbiotes you've been seeing in the past Venom, where they have, like, the swirly faces.
Right.
Like, that's what you're getting out of this. But it just goes to show that, you know, it's still very Cletus, but what I love is that Cletus beats Null in a battle in the mind. So it just goes to show how fucking powerful and evil Cletus really is. And like that's done. The way they wrote Noel was to be like he's a super beast, like he's the almighty symbiote god, and or devil or whatever.
He kind of is the deity of the symbiotes.
And the first encounter with Cletus, like just mind wrestles him all. Oh, I love it. It really builds up how nasty Cletus is. And so this cultist is just loving it and wants to. He's trying to further the process, knowing this it's not complete. So all of these cultists are all former symbiote possessors, and they're explaining how once possessed by a symbiote, there's always that trace left behind.
Right, and if you consume all of them, you can reawaken Null.
Exactly.
Make him whole again.
Faux show. So, the leader of this cult, she's got a cool name. What is her name? I'll figure it out in a minute. It'll come to me. But, yeah, no, she, it doesn't matter in the end, because she's dead.
I mean, she's here and then she's gone.
Yeah, she offers her symbiote, and, you give a mass murderer, a
right,
finger.
she's like, oh, well, the surgery's really precise, but we think we can do this.
Yeah, and Carnage just, like, reaches out and, like, just sucks her spine clean.
Yep.
And
thanks for the snack.
Yeah. And then we get the Cletus that we know more, like the symbiote, we're getting a red symbiote at this point. And throughout this process, like you could see the Carnage symbiote is fighting with the Null symbiote. Like
right.
it's not a pure Null symbiote you're seeing here. So there's a struggle, and then once you eat the spine, I guess that little symbiote that he got off of that was enough for Carnage to completely reawaken and win the battle.
Right.
With Null. And I'll be damned if it's just pure brutality from then on out. And
it's a wicked looking Carnage too.
And Carnage is back, and then you see Carnage just like looking at this screen of all these people that have ever possessed a symbiote, and a lot of very familiar faces in here.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you can guess a few. So I'm really, really hoping that, and I know this is going to continue all in Venom, I'm sure. Like, I think this is just a one-shot. So I can't wait for Venom number 9. The answer to your question is Venom going to continue past 10. Absolutely.
Oh, I mean, at this point,
this is going on forever.
I hope they do.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this is.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the series I'm most looking forward to catching up on is Venom. Yeah, I've read the 8th one, so I got 7 more.
And like I said, this could be a very intimidating issue if you're not familiar with the last 8 issues of Venom. I hope that we did at least a little bit of a job understanding what's going on with Noel and the Dragon symbiote, and that's what they have in this little tube here once you're reading it and all that shit. But it's a fucking great story. Donny Cates just can't fucking miss, man. It's I feel like his dick is just constantly in my mouth because I'm.
boy.
I have constant praise for the guy. The dude's just a master. I can't wait for issue 9 of Venom.
Well, please, if you ever meet him, don't tell him you said that.
I might have already, actually.
Oh, shit.
Mortal Hulk number 9, legacy numbering 726, Al Ewing, Joe Bennett, Martin Simmons, Roy Jose, and Paul Mounts, cover by Alex Ross again.
Yeah, you're a big fan of these.
Dude, Immortal Hulk's dope. And it's still...
You said these are like kind of these pseudo horror stories, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Is it still continuing down that path?
Yeah, it is. It really, really is. So the first page is you got Iron Man towering over the Absorbing Man. Or Creel, as I'll refer to him from here on out, because that's his last name.
Absorbing Man.
The Absorbing Man, yeah. So he's in custody, and he's getting interrogated, and they're not really explaining what's going on here, but I think it's kind of irrelevant and just showing that he's in custody at this point. And you get this scene where you got Bruce Banner. He's out in the backwoods on this trailer park, and this hillbilly's got a gun to his back, and you know that ain't going well. So then it flashes to Banner hand, Hulk hand, surprise fucking hillbilly face.
Mm-hmm.
So you get an idea where that's going. So then it goes back to well, yeah, it kind of just jumps forward from that scene actually. And you get this agent-looking guy interviewing the trailer owner, and he was like, "Oh yeah, this giant fucking beast and blah blah blah." And then this agent, his fingers turn into a gun, and he shoots this guy.
Oh, dope. Okay.
So, and then he was like, "All right, so we're ahead of the 911 call, so it's just gonna look like the Hulk got him at this point."
Mm-hmm.
So whoever these guys are searching for the Hulk. Agent Burbank and Shadowbase are apparently the ones behind this little. And I think that's like all you really get out of this in this book of this little thing. So it's setting up something for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's always somebody searching for the Hulk though, whether it's General Ross or whatever.
Right.
So
seems to be his thing.
yeah, and then you get a flashback to a meeting with Creel and his lawyer, and they're not agreeing with stuff and not agreeing with stuff, and all of a sudden his lawyer's like, "Well, I got a way out for you," and he goes on to explain that you're gonna have to fight the Hulk, and he's like, "Well, no, because the Hulk beats my butt."
Right. Yeah, I don't want to become Jello.
Like, and I don't do well with gamma radiation. He's like, "Well, we got a fix for that," and that's kind of the whole thing. Is like you go through this gamma treatment. And not only will you not have a weakness to gamma radiation, but you're going to be like way more badass than you've ever been.
Mm-hmm.
And be able to absorb gamma radiation. So you'll be able to beat the Hulk's ass.
I'm becoming another experiment.
And I'll be damned if that's what happens. He goes through the treatment, and he goes off to fight the Hulk at this point, and you can see here he looks badass. He even gets mad. He's like, "I'm red."
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, that's a side effect. It may or may not go away. Get used to it." So, but he goes to fight the Hulk, and the Hulk's helpless. He can't really hurt him. Every time he hits him, like a piece of him gets absorbed. So
Damn.
he's all like, it's hard to explain. Like you see how he's all wrapped up. Oh, it's bad.
Yeah, it's pretty
He's helpless.
Cool.
And
withers away to almost nothing.
Yeah, and that's.
So this ends with the Hulk pretty much on the ropes.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man, it's good stuff. And it's brutally drawn. Like the art, Joe Bennett is awesome. It's action packed. It's a cool story. It's horrific. Like there's a scene in there where they go to test the absorbing power of a gamma mouse.
Mm-hmm.
And they put this mouse in Krill's hand, and it just absorbs it like nothing, and you get this little mouse corpse there, and he's just shocked and kind of sickened at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh fuck, that was gross. And it's just kind of reflecting on the horror in the story again, but it's very well done. Very, very, very well done.
Right on.
Another unique 20 pages of Hulk. I like it. I like it a lot.
So are we going to be talking about Immortal or Weapon H this week?
Not this week, no. This real world thing they got going on right now is fucking a lot, and I hate to explode all your guys' heads like my head was exploded. So nothing against the book at all. I love Weapon H and have. That's just this issue is...
I at least want to talk about. What did you think about that little twist at the end when you find out that's not Angel, that's Black Widow?
Yeah.
That was pretty dope.
Yeah.
And him just going crazy, being like, "Nah, you betrayed me. I don't like this," and just freeing Morgana. That was just crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, there's so much going on.
I think the next issue is gonna be so dope.
For sure. Getting that for sure. Let's move on to Spider-Geddon.
Okay.
I'm loving this event, and I think this has been the strongest issue so far. What do you think?
Yeah, I am enjoying these Spider-Geddons. I'm just ready for I guess I'm ready for the climax. You know, it's all been a lot of build up with a little bit of action here and there. Like, oh, we need more spider people. Oh, we need to find more of these people.
Couple more weeks.
A little back and forth between them, and
couple more weeks, it's over.
Yeah.
Climax coming soon.
It's just so sad. I was really hoping for a lot more meat out of this. It's fun. It's a cool read. I like seeing all these different Spider-Men and seeing how they all interact together. But man, I'm just it's a lot of build up.
It is. It's Christos Gage, Dan Slott, Jorge Molina, Carlo Terry, sorry, and David Carriel with Jorge Molina doing the cover. And I honestly feel like the majority of this event is setting up just a Superior Octopus book, to be honest.
Could be, yeah.
And I mean, there is a Superior Octopus book coming for sure. I feel like it's definitely the main character in this whole arc. Like no Peter Parker of 616. It's yeah. So I don't know. I think Ghost Spider's gonna explain that this week though.
Well, and now you've got a Norman Osborn with dimension hopping.
I love it. And the team gets split up, and the only one that really goes with Norman Spider-Man is fucking Spiders Man.
Spiders Man.
Yeah. That's cool. And then they go to the Web of Destiny, and knowing that that inheritor, that's not an inheritor anymore, is no longer watching over it. So they're like, oh, this shit's wide open.
The one watching over the web of what is it? Web of Destiny or
Web of Life of Destiny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, all up in Loom World. But so yeah, they're off doing their thing. Because the rest of the team's like, I don't feel comfortable with a Norman on the team. So
right, I mean, what Peter Parker would be.
Absolutely. And then you get this moment where Superior Octopus and Miles Morales are like, oh shit, okay, I guess we're cool with each other. Because at first it was kind of like, I don't think I like you, and I don't think I like you, and then you realize like, oh, maybe we're perfect for each other.
Right. Which I'm kind of glad to see more of Miles. I mean, he's always been my favorite Spider-Man.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
So
sweet.
I like we get to see this little bit of a dynamic between the two.
Okay, gotcha. Meanwhile, the Inheritors, they have Spider-Woman, and she possessed the Solace Crystal, which is responsible for bringing back like the father of the Inheritors.
Right.
And they get that shit.
Yeah.
And they realize that they can't eat her because she's one of the spider people that's
has radiation.
Yeah, and that's the Inheritor's weakness. So they keep her to study her to figure out how to like
get her immunity.
Exactly. They need immunities. So yeah, that whole thing's going on there. I really like that. It kind of sucks if that was in the beginning of the book, because I think that was one of the strongest parts of the book.
Well, but they kind of foreshadow the ending because they're like, well, but we'll do that later. We've got more pressing issues, which, of course, they show towards the end.
Yeah, no, they do. That they do. And then so when Norman is fucking with the Web of Life of Destiny, he has this plot to leave all of them in the world behind.
Right.
They're in.
Sacrifice one world.
Exactly. And you're like, small sacrifice, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
So in doing so, like, all of the web watches that these guys have in order to dimension hop start malfunctioning. So they're trapped.
Right.
In the world with the Inheritors. And I like that Spiders Man goes off with different spiders to different dimensions.
Right.
And
I will make sure you have a Spiders Man in every dimension.
Yeah.
Every Earth.
Yeah. That's kind of cool. I like that a lot. So I really hope that Spiders Man becomes more relevant, because I'm actually, out of all of these guys...
Yeah, I'd never heard of him before. But
no, he's brand new. He's just introduced.
That's a fun character concept.
Just introduced, yeah. So yeah, you get all of that going on, and then during the whole commotion of the web watches fucking up, you realize that Ben Reilly and Otto take off. Yeah. Right. And you realize that they're off doing their thing, and then sadly enough that Superior Octopus or Spider-Man ends up selling Ben Reilly to the inheritors in a deal without Ben Reilly knowing.
Don't hurt anybody in this world, and
Yep.
you can have him.
Yep.
Leave my world be.
And it looks like that's the end of Scarlet Spider. And
so far.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I mean, you don't see the devouring, but it's pretty fucking there.
But again, just a lot of build-up. Like, I'm waiting for the climax. When is this big spider inheritor war gonna happen?
I don't know. And then we see Miles Morales back in the Lapartin, which has kind of been their little home base, which is like the giant Megazord, if you will, of one of the Spider-Man guys. But yeah, he summons the Enigma Force, and that's where it ends off. So I'm enigmatized right there. I don't know what's going on, but I like this issue a lot. I think it's been the strongest one. And issue 5, I think, wraps it up here in a couple of weeks. We got a couple more
I don't mean to lead
issues.
anybody to think that I didn't like this. This is definitely a fun event worth reading.
No, it's probably just not what you expected out of this event.
It's a lot of teasing.
It's definitely not what I expected out of this event, but I'm enjoying it.
I mean, we get a lot of these Spider-Men bickering with each other.
I really, really think that this is more just getting people excited for a Miles Morales title coming soon. I mean, it's a marketing ploy, but it's been a fun one, because they're like, look, all of these other Spider people do exist.
Yeah.
They killed some awesome ones right off the bat in issue 1. They killed off Spider-Man Noir and Spider Britain, or whatever it was. The one that was like Captain Britain, Spider-Man combined, like the most powerful Spider-Man out of all of them. But yeah, no, so it's been a roller coaster of awesomeness, and we'll see where it leads off.
Yeah, we got just one issue left?
I think one more. Two max, but I think one more. And like I said, definitely a few more tie-ins, because
the Spider Force and
Ghost Spider's out this week. That's Gwen Stacy.
Do we have any more Vault of Spiders coming out?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure. We'll know later on when we look at the list.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. This book, I'm gonna let you talk about. You were super excited.
Yeah, I've really loved these Infinity Warp stories. They're silly, they're fun. I've loved them.
Yeah, and even this one's not so much silly as it was serious.
No. Okay, well, first off, this is Ghost Panther. We got Jed MacKay and Jaffe Palo and Jim Campbell. It's been a phenomenal read. So we start off with T'Challa. Yeah, he's fighting with his father, T'Chaka, and he gets exiled. And he leaves, and then he sees the other injustices on the streets, and being T'Challa, he can't stand it. Gets in some fights, and he meets this brother Crash, who owns a stunt show. Becomes a second follower to him, kind of raises him.
And I like how he's like, yeah, no, T'Challa isn't gonna work. Your new name's Johnny Blaze.
Stage name, yeah. You gotta pick something more American.
Yeah. So that's how the Johnny Blaze tie-in.
Right, and then they just introduce him, Johnny Blaze, this daredevil motorcycle stunt.
Yep. He's a stunt guy.
But of course they quickly jump into it. He has no fear. He goes out and does these crazy things. He's made a name for himself. Well, of course, he, like the Fonz, takes on a bit more than he can handle and crashes and dies.
Eats shit and dies.
So he has, Lady Dread herself there, Zarthos, and she makes a tempting offer to him. I'll bring you back and I'll make you more powerful. You can right these injustices, but you have to collect souls for me. And of course, being T'Challa, he's like, that's a great offer, but no. But, of course, he still comes back. He finds out that his father's dead. But And
his sister's going to be crowned
right.
Black Panther.
She's gonna
so
become
he's like,
Black
he
Panther.
has to go back out of respect.
Pay respects, tradition.
And he's still like, crazy white boy race daddy, carny guy, you my daddy. I just got to go back and pay respects to my sister. What?
Okay.
Is he not a white boy?
No, he's definitely not.
Oh, maybe he's not. Oh, no, he's totally not. I just...
Yeah, you threw me off there a little bit.
I don't remember.
Yeah, Mr. Crash himself, but he uses some kind of like voodoo pentagram satanic thing to bring him back, you know? Called in some favors. But anyway, so he goes off, finds out that the two men who killed his father are still at large. They haven't had justice met to them yet. And he gets mad at his sister, like, well, why have you not fixed this? You're the Black Panther. She's like, no, I'm not the Black Panther. The heart-shaped herb is gone. They blew it up. They destroyed it. There is no more. So he goes off and she says, T'Challa, where are you running off to like a fool again? He's like, I'm not T'Challa. I'm Johnny Blaze.
Johnny Blaze.
Call me T'Challa when I return with the heads of our father's killers. And yeah, he goes off, chases them. He's gifted a little power by Zarthos. She'll let him smell the killer, so he's able to track him down. Which he has a little fight with them. Apparently they're Martian arena warriors, gladiators, I guess. And yeah, he gets pretty fucked up, but...
And as he's laying there dying, like he calls out to the same person he called out before as he laid dying in the motorcycle stunt, even though he turned down the offer, the deal. Yeah, so and of course the deal is the spirit of vengeance.
I'll accept your deal. We'll say it. Yes, I accept. So he fights them, and next thing he knows, he's eating their souls. He's like, wait, deal's off. I will not consume their souls. I know you want them, but I won't consume them. Then, of course, as soon as he gives back his powers, bam! Shot right through the chest.
Yeah, man. That was rough, dude.
Yeah, what'd you think of this one? I thought this was a really fun read. I think that this is a really crazy matchup. You got Black Panther and Ghost Rider, like, yin and yang.
Black Panther with the pen and stare is fucking scary, man.
Hell yeah.
Like, I want to see it used in the Infinity War when it comes. I think there might be one more to this. I think this is going to be a two-parter. Maybe it's just a one-shotter, but I think it's going to be a two-parter. And if not,
I believe it says to be continued at the bottom of the...
Oh, yeah. So it is a two-parter, so... Yeah, no, stoked.
Yeah, that's a cool character. Again, there's a lot of setup, a little bit of backstory, but I want to see more of this character. That is such a fun concept.
Yeah, man, for sure. Getting close to the end here. We've got West Coast Avengers #4, Kelly Thompson, Stefano Caselli, and Triona Farrell. This book
Kelly
right
Thompson.
here. Yeah, man. This was a surprise for me, to be honest. I read issue 1. I picked it up, not expecting to put it on my pull. And then issue 1 was a lot of fun. And I was like, let's see what issue 2's about. And I read issue 2, and I was like, okay, I'm going to put this on my pull. And here we are through issue 4 now. And it's still a lot of fun. So we got Brodok fucking controlling all the girls that turn him down. He turns them into like these giant angry animal beasts.
Oh, okay.
And Brodok is definitely not, in quotations, MODOK, retransformed to this handsome bro. Spoiler, he totally fucking is. Yeah. But,
Brodok.
So the way issue 3 ended was he turned Kate Bishop into a giant hawk. That was interesting. So she's a giant hawk now. And, so Hawkeye goes, he's like, I gotta go find the reversing machine. And he does.
Oh, of course there's a reversing machine.
Yeah, well, of course. And he ends up he throws it on Brodok, and he turns into MODOK. And before he hits Kate, she's like, wait, keep me like this for a minute. Let's go take on these other bitches destroying the city. And Tiger is one of them. Tiger's used to be a good bitch, too. And then she's kind of snapping out of it, because it's all, like, controlled,
mind control?
Yeah, that's the stuff, because that's what, I don't know. But, yeah, no, that's what MODOK's all about. Who is it? Is it America that just fucking pummels him to space? Let's see here. Who is it? No, it's a giant hawk Kate Bishop. Once MODOK's turned into himself, she just, like, pretty much just grabs him and throws him into the sun.
Sure.
And
puny, she's
at
big.
that point, the psychic connection has been broken. So Tiger's like, oh shit, I'm good. And all the girls that have been, turned, they're like, okay, cool. And then Hawkeye starts turning them.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the girls that's a dragon, her name's Bridget, she's like, wait, don't turn me. And Gwenpool's like, no, you can't, it's not cool. And everyone's like, what the fuck? She's like, nah, I think it's super cool being a
Fuck
dragon.
yeah, being a motherfucking dragon.
And you get like this whole like SJW stance by Gwenpool. She's like, if she wants to identify as dragon, she's dragon, she can be dragon. I'm like, alright.
Hell yeah.
Whatever, alright, cool. It's funny.
I want to identify as a dragon.
Oh, fuck. Well, if you get the chance, fucking
someday.
But no, this story was just a lot of fucking fun, and then you come to realize that after that whole kerfuffle, the West Coast Avengers aren't really supposed to be a thing. It's Kate realizes that it's Cap has word of it at this point, and Captain America's not supposed to know about this team.
Not approved, huh?
Yeah, it hasn't been approved officially. And the way she's been funding it is allowing this TV crew to follow him around.
Oh, so they got their own reality show, huh?
Yeah, so
well,
like
of course Captain America knows about it.
The last like half of the book is them going through and like doing these really funny confessionals, and you realize that the Avengers are going to get involved here soon, or at least Captain America. They even go on Jimmy Kimmel at one point.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It sounds like such a fun story.
Yeah, and like, they're on Jimmy Kimmel. Oh, Jarvis, stop your itchies. Fucking, yeah, that's when Kate's like, oh shit, Cap definitely knows now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's kind of where it ends off, really. Well, not really. You see, like, all these other like B-list villains like watching Jimmy Kimmel going, oh shit, fucking apparently all these are all villains that are based out of LA, cause that's the West Coast.
Mom, did you see I was on TV?
Well, no, all these villains going like, oh shit, fucking West Coast Avengers are a thing again. Let's fucking start causing some shit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is too. And this, Kelly Thompson, good fucking job. Like, I'm a super fan of this book. Gwenpool is awesome. Fucking Hawkeye for president, baby. This is dope.
Hawkeye for president.
Yeah, dude, America Chavez is amazing. Fucking Quasar and Gwenpool's little love interest. So much good stuff. So much good stuff.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it really is. Last book to review.
Yeah, Iron Man.
Yeah, number 6 or 606 if you're keeping track. Dan Slott.
Man, did I choose a weird issue to jump in on.
Totally. But it's the start of an arc though.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad issue to jump in on.
Escape or Escape.
Escape, yeah. So we got Dan Slott, Jeremy Whitley, Valerio Schiti, and Edgar Delgado, covered by Alexander Lozano.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so the Stark Realities is the arc here, and this part is called The Rollout. And rightfully so, because we're rolling out a new Stark piece of technology that's taking the world by storm. It's extremely valuable. It's like bigger than any iPhone release ever. It's
right,
like
it's
a VR
technology,
game. It's
VR.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Ready Player One.
Yeah, exactly. This is like new virtual reality.
Anything
as in, like,
in the
reality.
world you want to be, you get to be.
Right.
But a big arc of the story is the fact that Tony Stark's newly discovered mama. Are you aware that?
No, I have not read any of this.
Okay,
I didn't know anything
Howard,
about her.
Howard and what's her face are not Tony Stark's actual biological parents. He was adopted by Amanda and so and so. Amanda was like a punk rocker back in the day, and his dad was a thought to be dead SHIELD agent who apparently has been alive this whole time and was back again. That was from the International Iron Man arc from Brian Michael Bendis last year. But anyway, so yeah, Amanda is kind of bummed. She's like, alright, my son was dead, and now he's back, and he's just like way too busy to spend time with me.
Right.
So that's kind of what you're getting out of this. Just in case you weren't aware while you were reading that, like, who the fuck is Amanda and why
Yeah,
does
I mean,
she care?
they did enough to kind of show me why it was going on.
I think so.
New mother, having to spend
so.
time with me. I want my boy.
Right. But meanwhile, Tony Stark, Iron Man, and the Wasp are on a heist mission.
Yeah, they are.
A truck full of these escapes is being hijacked,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone's kind of criticizing, like, what the fuck, dude, they're video games. He's like, nah, these video games are worth more than diamonds.
Right. This
Like,
is the new highest,
right, and they're explaining
most valuable
what
thing in the world.
They're explaining, like, oh, you could be what you want to be, and blah, 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 blah.
I need to get my product to the consumer.
Exactly, yeah, it's opening day, bitches, and nobody can be shorted. Right.
He's so heroic.
Yeah. So then it like flashes forward to a scene from within the game, like you're getting like this this.
They're running a simulation of their heist already.
Right, and you get this one player who's in an Iron Man skin with a potty mouth, which leads to him getting booted. And so yeah, his fucking cock shit ass motherfucker.
Right.
Okay,
expletive.
Gets him booted, and he meets, what's the name of this fucking, he's like the god, Arsenal is his name. He's the god admin or some shit like that. And yeah, he's like, get the fuck out. And the kid's pissed. He's pissed. He just bought this super expensive thing, and he's booted. So then it flashes forward, so it's totally foreshadowing something there.
Right.
And then it flashes forward to, what does it flash forward to? Oh, like Tony and his mom again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the way he deals with her is kind of
I'll
sad.
deal with you later.
Yeah, it's like, fuck, dude. Damn, harsh.
Okay, but again, like, he is a billionaire philanthropist who's working on another big project, and he's a superhero. Like, alright, if the man ain't got time, he's got the excuse not to have time.
I get it, but dog.
True.
I'll deal with you?
Yeah.
She's not a project.
But it is Tony we're talking about. It's just kind of how he is.
Yeah. Well, she's fed up with that shit, so she puts all of her own VR things herself.
Right.
And it shows her in her old younger form as a punker.
Punk rock!
Yeah. And during all this, he realizes that there's some malfunctioning. Tony realizes there's some malfunctioning going on, and nothing's responding to him.
Right.
Like the ultimate fucking guy. Like none of the admins are
his
responding.
technology.
Yeah. So that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes back to the kid being
reinstated.
Yeah. This guy called the Controller, which is a very proper name for a video game.
Alright, kid, I'm looking for players just like you. Let's go play some games.
Yep, and that's gonna end badly.
This messed up fucking psychopath kid. I'm gonna go in and hurt people.
Yeah. So this was a very crazy story. Like I'm curious to see where this like virtual reality world goes.
Yeah.
Are we getting a kid villain on our hands? Is the Controller the guy we gotta worry about? I don't know, but it's an Iron Man story, so I'm gonna read it.
Yeah, I'm sold. I definitely want to see what happens in number 7.
For sure. And that's what we have to review for this week, guys. Now there's a billion other books that came out last week, and there's only so much time in the day. The mind's fucked up when they made the calendars and clocks and all that shit. Like we need more hours for reading.
Yeah, just 9 hours in a day.
But so no, there's definitely more to be read. But I loved last week. There were so many things. But let's get on to the part we call wall books, where we talk about the books for the covers. At least that's what I buy them for. And I put them on my wall. Hence the term wall books.
Books that you love seeing at the wall at the comic store that you have to put on your wall.
For sure. This week is another Marvel Knights Connecting variant. This one's got Bullseye and Punisher on it.
Oh yeah.
And Care Andrews once again killing it. Can't wait to put this one up next to the...
I like that green iridescent New York background.
It's Hell's Kitchen, dog. Love it. Love it. Good job. Next up was Justice League Dark number 5. I had to go with the Clayton Crane. I just love the purples on there. The Man Bat just hovering over.
Oh, that's a great cover, for sure.
It's a fucking incredible cover. Another one that I liked is a Virgin. It was Tony Stark Iron Man. This cover,
War Machine!
Yeah, dude, it's dope. It's got War Machine on there.
That's a cool Virgin.
It is. It's who do we have here? Fucking Jongju Kim did this one, and shout out, dope, going on the wall.
And I'm sure this was your favorite.
You know me too well, good sir. Batman 59, the variant, Mikhail Janine, fucking Penguin and Bane and Batman all up on there. I love the purples and the blues and the hint of green with the Bane. And
by your favorite cover artist,
Francesco Mattina, man.
Yeah.
Does it again.
Yeah, killed it again this week.
Yeah.
I really like his Penguin covers.
I do too. Very, very much so. So I'm going to go ahead and, for the first time ever, my top pick of the week for all three cover, story, and interiors is going to go to Batman 59.
Yeah.
Tom King for the story, Mikhail Janine for the interiors, and the original cover as well is amazing. But Francesco Mattina with the variant cover just... I've yet to have a fucking... What do they call that in basketball? A triple-double? This would just be like call it a triple kablam. That's what we're going to call this.
Hat trick.
No, fuck your hat trick. That's not hockey. We don't do sports! Fucking nothing wrong with sports. But, fucking goddamn triple kablam is what I'm going to call it. If you don't like it, call it something else, but I'm going to call it triple kablam. So good job, Batman.
What do they call that in horse racing? The Triple Crown?
Yeah, sure, Triple Crown, but once again, that's sports. What about you?
Man, that's favorite cover.
You said Middlewest was your story.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's very compelling, and
Scotty.
I would say I'll pick it for my internal art.
Do you like the interior?
I do. I really
like
it. I really dig it. I can see some people being turned off by the art style because it's not your typical comic book style, which I love. I mean, it's compelling. I think they really work well together.
So you got two there. Fucking A. Alright, Middlewest got two of them. What about cover of the week, man?
That Mattina. I really like his Penguin covers for sure.
Yeah, it's dope.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. It really, really is. Shall we talk about what we're excited about next week?
Nah.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and do it.
Fucking Stranger Things. You're reading this, Jody.
Yeah, I haven't seen the show, but I'm reading the comic. It's interesting so far.
It's fucking weird. Oh, yeah, no, I love
It's definitely weird.
Yeah, no, I was saying you're weird. Stefano Martino. Yeah, no, I know that I should be reading this.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, for some reason, I didn't go around it.
Yeah, you were saying that you really loved the TV show and you just didn't want that to be jaded.
Yeah, I think I'd rather wait for the TV series to come to an end before I start doing anything else Stranger Things.
See, I have no idea if it's rated or not. Maybe this will be the kick in the butt I need to actually watch the show. I've heard nothing but great things.
I'll tell you. DC Action Comics 1005 by Michael Bendis, Ryan Sook. So yeah, that's going on. We got Batgirl number 29, Marguerite Scott, Paul Pelletier, and Norm Rapmond. Batgirl.
We got Batman Beyond by Dan Jurgens and Brett Booth with Norman Rapmund.
Yes.
Rapmund?
You got me. Rapmond. You got me hooked on Batman Beyond, man. I'm curious. Joker's back.
Yeah, he is.
Might have another Robin death, possibly. I don't know.
Maybe. I hope not, but we'll see.
Batman Kings of Fear Part 4 of 6. Scott Peterson and Kelly Jones. This Kings of Fear title is interesting. I like it. Detective Comics 993, James Robinson and Carmine Giandomenico. So getting closer to that 1,000 mark.
Yeah, we are.
Flash, number 59, Joshua Williamson, Rafa Sandoval, and Jordi Tarragona. So, fucking Flash. People love it.
Next up, we got Heroes in Crisis. This is number 3 with Tom King. We got Lee Weeks and Clay Mann.
A fucking all-star team. I'm loving this
Definitely.
event. It's awesome.
Let's just hope number 3 can keep the momentum going.
Let's hope. Justice League Odyssey number 3, Joshua Williamson and Stepan Zijic. It's the only Justice League title I'm not reading, and I hear it's the best one. I don't know. Jump on it. Old Lady Harley number 2, Frank Thierry and Naki Miranda. Yeah, fucking Old Lady Harley continuing on. People like it. I haven't read it.
Neither have I. Not yet.
We were talking earlier about these New Age of Heroes. We got Silencer number 11, Dan Abnett and Jake Herbert. We also have the Terrifics number 10, Jeff Lemire and Victor Bogdanovich. This one you say you like, or you're interested in getting in?
Not the Titans. It's actually the Teen Titans I've heard is really good. I haven't checked them out yet, but...
Well, nevertheless, we have Titans number 30.
Yeah, Dan Abnett and Minkyu Jung.
That's right. Wonder Woman number 59. G. Willow Wilson and Carrie Nord. Wonder Woman. That's right. So that's all we got for DC.
That we're interested in.
Yeah, you know, like I'm plenty in DC. But those are the titles that stand out to us, or the ones that we definitely think y'all should jump on. Into some indies, from Dynamite Entertainment, we got Red Sonja number 23, Amy Chu, Eric Berman, and Carlos E. Gomez. And Jarvis sounds excited about Red Sonja.
Yeah, you want some Red Sonja?
You want some Red Sonja, huh, Jarvis? Jarvis wants some Red Sonja. IDW, we got House Amok number 3, Christopher Sabella and Sean McManus. This one is on my pull list. I'm curious to see what happens in number 3. I'm not totally sure what's going on with 1 and 2, but I'm still reading. Frickin' Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 88. Their ongoing Tom Waltz, Kevin Eastman, and Dave Watcher. That's IDW. Image, you were interested in this one?
Yeah, I've heard good things about Die, Die, Die. I think I'm going to check it out this week. We've got Robert Kirkman and Scotty Gimple on the writing team, along with Chris Burnham and Nathan Fairburn for the art.
Awesome.
Not quite sure what it's all about yet, but I'll let you know next week.
I hear it's super bloody and people die.
Sweet.
I would hope so. Redneck number 17, Donnie Cates Lizardo Esthren and D. Knife. We have another Image number 1, Warning number 1 by Edward LaRoche, all the way through doing the art and the writing as well.
Kudos.
Fucking A, man.
And next, because at heart I really am a trade guy, and I just picked up Realm at Volume 10, and then you let me borrow the first trade. Well, trade number 2 is out, so I'll be checking that out for sure, getting caught up on that.
Fuck yeah, Seth Peck and Jeremy Hahn killing it. I love that story, man.
Yeah, it's very compelling.
Let's spout out some Marvel shit. Amazing Spider-Man number 10, Nick Spencer, Humberto Ramos, of course, read Spider-Man. The Black Panther number 6, Ta-Nehisi Coates and Jen Bartel. What else? This one, I'm sad to say, is the end of Charles Soule's run with Daredevil, number 612, with Phil Noto doing the art. This is the death of Daredevil, and based on a history of how writers leave a Daredevil story, and this arc being called Death of Daredevil, I have a feeling that Daredevil's gonna die. Because there's a new creative team coming in, and I think there's going to be like a little 5-issue mini-series of something beforehand.
Yeah, it might be our last Daredevil for a little bit, other than Marvel Knights.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not the end of Daredevil by any means. You're going to see plenty of them. It's just that Charles Soule's run's coming to an end at 612. So it's probably going to relaunch and do a number 1 and pick up at 613.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how that works. But, fucking kudos to Charles Soule's run on Daredevil. I have been a fan from the get-go. What else? This one. Deadman Logan number 1 at Brisson and Mike Henderson. So, Old Man Logan's over. We're going to get
The
12
end of Old Man
issues
Logan.
of Deadman Logan.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Old
Cool.
Man Logan going to die now, too. What else? Fantastic Four, number 4. Dan Slott, Stefano Caselli. This has been fun. I love the Fantastic Four. I never thought I'd say that. Events, Infinity Wars.
Arachnite number 2, we got Dennis Hopeless and El Garza.
Goddamn right. And another Infinity Wars one.
Weapon Hex by Ben Acker and Ben Blacker. That was not an accident, I'm sure. And Gerardo Sandoval.
For sure.
I'm loving these warp stories. They're fun.
You really are. I am too. Ironheart number 1. So Riri's got her own series. Officially as Ironheart now. Eve Ewing, Kevin Labrada, and Luciano Vecchio.
Being a big Iron Man fan, are you subscribing to this?
Certainly.
Nice.
I am. I might even pick up a variant. I don't know. No, I mean more than likely. Old Man Hawkeye, number 11. Ethan Sachs, Marco Cicchetto. Marco Cicchetto is actually going to be the artist taking over Daredevil soon, so that I am super excited about.
Yeah,
but
cool.
This is issue 11 of 12 of Old Man Hawkeye. This has been a super fucking fun maxi series, man. Highly suggest you pick it up in trade when it's all said and done.
Excellent.
Return of Wolverine and the Hot Claws, number 3. Charles Soule and Declan Shalvey.
Declan
Shalvey. Sorry, I saw an R in there somewhere.
That's all good. We're both bad at names.
So yes, and will there be Hot Claws? I bet there's Hot Claws.
You know, we've already had the Hot Claws denied, from the man himself.
Yeah, and why are there Hot Claws? Just cause.
Just is.
Just cause.
Badass.
Yep. Same reason, fucking, yeah. I don't know. I could say a lot of stuff, but if I was going to say stuff, it'd probably get us in trouble. Fucking, you're welcome, Justin. Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider number 2. She's out trying to find the real Peter Parker while this whole Spider-Geddon event's going on.
Yeah, you said you're really liking this one, right?
I like Spider-Gwen. I got a fucking strange crush on her.
I will definitely
Sean
check it out.
McGuire, and she's mine. Rosie Camp. Fucking.
Go dibs.
Yeah, so shout out to all that. Fucking Uncanny X-Men is continuing weekly at Brisson, Yardray Sinar. I'm liking it. You still on the Uncanny train, man?
Oh yeah, definitely.
You good with it?
Yeah, well, we got 10 weeks of goodness.
Cool. What else we got? We're gonna shout out some more indies. Fucking, I think there's a Rick and Morty. There's definitely a Rick and Morty somewhere. Where are we at? I want to make sure they get their proper. Flipping through my notes. Here we go. Rick and Morty. Kyle Starks, Tim Howard, Mark Elderby, and a few others. That's number 44.
Cool. I'm probably going to be skipping that one this week, but I am going to be checking out a new one, Rolled and Hold. It seems like a D&D style story, and I'm a big Dungeons and Dragons nerd, so we got E.L. Thomas with Josephine Yanasak as the writing team with Wendy Zhu and various other artists.
Fucking A.
Yeah, I'm going to check it out, see if it's...
hop right in on a number 3. Alright.
We got another one. We got a Frankenstein story. It's going to be the number 1. We got Monstrous with Gregory Wright and Ken Lamont.
From the Source Point Press. Let me say that in English. Source Point Press.
Never heard of them, have you?
I don't know. I don't think I have. Not familiar.
Cool.
But Frankenstein just sounds fun. The cover looks like it's going to be an art style right up my alley. So yeah.
I'll let you know how it is.
Oh, I might just read it myself.
Oh, there we go.
Valiant's got shit happening. Fucking Exo Man of War continues on number 21. Matt Kint and Juan Jose Rip. So everybody loves him some Exo. Is there anything else this week that we must talk about? Give a shout out to?
Not that I can think of right off the cuff.
That is a whole bunch of indie books this week. A whole bunch of Marvel books.
A lot of Marvel.
A lot of DC. So yeah, no, I think that's
It's a healthy week.
I feel like we need to give a total shout out to. No disrespect to any titles or creators.
We don't even always talk about everything we're reading throughout the week.
Yeah,
There's just too many phenomenal authors and artists and.
I feel like most of the time, if we miss something, we'll end up bringing at least one new creator or title that we didn't talk about last week in, because we'll see something on the shelf or cover, it'll catch our eye and be like, oh shit, missed that one. So.
Yeah, we don't want the show to go on for too long, but we also we want to talk about everything. We gotta cut some stuff.
Absolutely.
I think we skipped Weapon H this week, and I didn't talk about East to West. I know that's another one that I'm trying to get you to caught up on.
Yeah, fucking Sleepwalker was dope. So yeah.
Another one we skipped.
Yeah. Well, man, I think that about wraps it up. Is there anything else that you want to touch on?
Yeah, I just want to remind everybody, if you're listening to the show, if you like what you've heard, hit us up on the Facebook page. That's Cheers to Comic on Facebook, or on Twitter. It's Cheers to Comics on the Twitter.
Yeah,
and if you really love what you have, hey, think about throwing us a buck. We would love to
Patreon. Yes, hit us up on Patreon, because you just give us a little bit and we will give you everything that we can. Like we have monthly drawings for like our $3 tier. We'll send you some goofy comic book shit, and it's not goofy by any means. It might be goofy. You might get a giggle, but it's not going to be some bullshit like. But different separate tiers, and as the patrons grow, we'll add to it and make it more and more incentivized.
But again, if you don't have that dollar to spare, hey, we would just love to hear from you. We want you to be part of the show.
And I think really at this point, the best way to do so is hit us up through Twitter.
Yeah.
At Cheers to Comics. Can't stress that enough. If there's a book that you feel like we absolutely must talk about, hit us up. If you have a question for one of us, hit us up. If you want to know what we're having for lunch tomorrow, hit us up.
If you want to disagree with something we said on a comic book, hey, let us know. Maybe we can discuss that.
Oh, bring that shit on. Seriously.
Did we get something wrong? We would love to know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, we have no problem. But, yeah, no, that's I think that's what social media was supposed to be for. Don't be a dick. More than anything. But yeah, no, we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to, if you guys want us to shout out something, scratch our back, we'll fucking scratch
we've heard from a couple people. We've had a couple questions, and that made our freaking day. So maybe you can be the next one we can give a shout out to. Yeah, man. Well, I hope that you have an awesome week. We have a lot of books to pick up on. Yeah, we do.
And you guys read responsibly, man.
Yeah, geek responsibly.
Cheers.
Cheers, then.